Welcome to Living English. In our drama today, Anne visits a winery, a place that makes wine, and gives her opinion about their wine. She also does some business and gets a good price for the best wine. After the drama, we'll look in detail at the words we use to compare more than two things. Here's today's episode of Sisters and Brothers.
These are our whites. Why don't you try the Chardonnay first? It's our best-selling wine.
Lovely.
Good fruit. Perhaps a little immature?
Yes, it's made from some of our youngest vines. It is our most popular white at the moment. Try this Riesling.
It's very pale, isn't it?
A lot of our customers are finding it very attractive.
It's a bit too dry for our market. I think we'll leave that one. But I like the Chardonnay. I think we can sell that.
Excellent.
Let's try the reds.
Our reds are as good as any you'll find around here.
What have we got here?
This is our Cabernet Sauvignon. It's very popular.
A bit too much fruit at this stage. I understand it wasn't a good year for Cabernet in this district.
You know your wines, Miss Lee.
I try to be prepared. What's your best red?
This one. Our Shiraz. And we think it's world class.
It's a lovely colour. Deepest red.
What vintage is this?
It's 3 years old now. It'll drink well for years yet, but you can drink it right now too.
And what's the price?
Well, it's our most expensive wine at $50 retail.
I'll think about it. It's certainly got potential, but there are a lot of wines around in this class these days. You've got a lot of competition, Tim.
That's for sure. But we can work out a special price for you if you're interested.
I'm definitely interested. This is very good. Sarah knows our requirements and pricing position. I'm sure you can work out something with her.
I'm sure we can.
Let's look at how Anne gives her opinion about the wine. She uses adjectives to describe it. First, she gives her opinion about the Chardonnay, a type of white wine.
Good fruit. Perhaps a little immature?
She says the fruit is good. The fruit means the grapes used to make the wine. And she says, perhaps a little immature. Immature means too young, not ready. By saying perhaps, she is showing that she is giving her opinion, saying what she thinks. It's more polite than just saying, it's too immature. You try making some suggestions using perhaps. You'd like to come with me. Perhaps you'd like to come with me. It's time to go. Perhaps it's time to go. You're wrong about that. Perhaps you're wrong about that. Now, what does Sarah say about the Riesling, another type of white wine?
It's very pale, isn't it?
She says, it's very pale, isn't it? Pale means it doesn't have a strong colour. By saying, isn't it, she shows she is giving her opinion. She wants the others to agree with her. Isn't it is short for is it not, which is the same as saying, don't you think? Try using isn't it with these sentences. It's hot. It's hot, isn't it? It's funny. It's funny, isn't it? But be careful. You only use isn't it when the subject is it. For example, I would say, he's funny, isn't he? You're late, aren't you? They run fast, don't they? Now look at another way Anne gives an opinion.
A bit too much fruit at this stage.
Anne tasted 4 wines. The first one she tasted was better than the second one, and the last one was the best of them all. Words such as best are called superlatives. We use adjectives, describing words, in a different way to compare more than 2 things. One way of doing this is to add an est sound to the adjective. Listen.
It's lovely colour, deepest red.
This is deep red. This is deeper red. And this is the deepest red. Practice saying the deepest red with the clip.
It's a lovely colour, red. It's a lovely colour, the deepest red.
Now listen out for another superlative.
Yes, it's made from some of our youngest vines.
Youngest. None of the vines are younger. Young and deep have one main sound or syllable. Young, deep. When a word has more than 2 main sounds or syllables, we don't add an est sound to form the superlative. The word expensive has 3 syllables. Ex, pen, sive. Now listen to its superlative form.
Well, it's our most expensive wine at $50 retail.
Most expensive. With longer words, we add most or the most to form the superlative. Repeat these after me. This wine is expensive. This wine is more expensive than that one. This is the most expensive of all the wines. But with shorter words, we add and est to the end of the word. Repeat these phrases after me. This wine is pale. This wine is paler than that one. This wine is the palest of all. In our next clip, listen for the superlative of another 3-syllable adjective, popular. Pop-u-la.
It is our most popular white at the moment.
Most popular. And here's the most popular person on Living English, Michelle Crowden. Hello, Michelle.
Hello, Brenton. Hello, everyone. Here are 3 potatoes. First, let's arrange them in order of size. Brenton, can you do that?
I think so. There you go.
So this one is bigger than this one, and this one is bigger than this one. So this one is the biggest. And as we've already seen, we add to big to make bigger and compare 2 things, and est to big to make biggest when we're comparing more than 2 things. What else happens to the word big?
It has an extra G.
That's right. The extra G tells us that the word is pronounced biggest and not biggest. What's another example?
Hot. Hotter. Hottest.
And what's the opposite of big?
Small. Small. Smaller. Smallest. It already has a double letter at the end.
Now I want you to put these in order of their weight.
Okay, I think this one is heavier than this one, but this one is heavier than both of the others, so it's the heaviest.
Let's check. Now this one. Heavier?
That's heavier.
Yeah, okay. And this one.
This one's heavier than both.
So it's the heaviest. What happens to the word heavy when we add the and est endings?
The Y changes to an I before we add the endings. This happens with other words too.
Such as lucky, luckier, luckiest.
And happy, happier, happiest.
So this is the heaviest potato, but which one is the lightest?
This one. Light, lighter, lightest.
Now let's look at another way of comparing things. Listen to Tim, the winemaker.
Our reds are as good as you'll find in this area.
Tim said that their reds, that is, their red wines, were as good as any others in that area. Let's look at the expression as good as. Tim is saying that his wine is good and the other wines are good too. Here are 2 donuts. I want you to do a taste test, Brenton. Okay. Which donut is better?
If you insist.
So is this donut better than that one?
Not really, no.
Is it worse than that one?
No, I don't think so. I think they're both equally good.
So we would say this donut is as good as that one.
They're both equally as sweet.
You can use any adjective instead of good. So we would say this donut is as sweet as that one.
They're both equally delicious.
What would we say? This donut is as delicious as that one.
And they're both equally round.
This donut is as round as that one. And they're both fattening.
Well, yes, this donut is as fattening as that one.
We could also say this donut is just as fattening as that one. But this donut is the most fattening.
Yes, and the most delicious.
It's the best. Goodbye.